Nkunku's got to go, but he's dropped in price. And is there an obvious replacement for him? Welcome to the Gianni Battici YouTube show. Hope you're all well and you're looking forward to Game Week 3 already. Game Week 2 was a high-scoring one. And in today's show, we'll look at Game Week 2, but we'll also look forward and look at my transfer plans for Game Week 3 as well. If you're enjoying the show so far, you want to show support, please do hit that like button, but also subscribe to the channel. I've got a few dilemmas with my team, and Nkunku's one that clearly has to go, but I've also got big question marks over a few others, like Lewis Hall, for example. I still, for example, own Solanke. But look, 86 was a good score because I had a couple of players that scored big. So at the back, Trent on 6, Robinson was my transfer in for Kwanzaa on 7. Very happy with that, despite the singles from Henderson and Hall. In midfield, Gordon on 10 points. Like, he matched Mo Salah in Game Week 2, guys. Anthony Gordon, happy with that. Son 16 was huge. And by the way, Son and Saka now are equal on points. They're both on 18, Game Week 1 and 2. And many went Saka, I went Son. So I'm happy with that. He's matched him at least. And Nkunku's one is disappointing. Jota continues to get points. And Morgan Rogers, more on him later. Haaland with the captaincy on 34 and Isak on 2. It's a good game week score of 86 and we're happy there. But there's been a fair few learnings from the game week. I look at bonus points, I look at some standout players, and I look at the lack of obvious replacements for Nkunku and think, oh, I've got a few different directions I could go in this week, which even include rolling despite the weak squad. Because come game week 4, and we're going to look at the fixtures in a minute, we're all going to want Mo Salah, aren't we? Having 2 transfers for Game Week 4 could be needed. Let's have a look then at some of the standout things from the weekend just gone. In terms of bonus points, I always like to just have a quick snapshot. So Welbeck, João Pedro got bonus for Brighton. We saw Smith Rowe, despite only playing just over an hour, still, if he gets his goal, he gets the 3 bonus. Haaland, of course, Gibbs White 2, similar to Smith Rowe. And then Son with the 3, he needed that second goal involvement. And then for Arsenal, Raya owners, so happy. And for Newcastle, Gordon owners too. Spurs are essential to my transfer plans. And I saw this from Rob Daly, just showing the average position of Spurs players is so important to note. Now, this is brilliant if you're a Porro owner. If you're even shopping for a defender and can't afford Porro but like a Doji, this is brilliant to know. They both drift into those central 10 areas. What it means, though, at Spurs, because the fullbacks are always so narrow and advanced, the wide men, at the weekend it was Odegaard and Johnson, guys, they got chalk on their boots. They're hugging the touchline. Now, ordinarily, that's Son. And that's why Son in Game Week 1 didn't produce the points. Now, no Solanke in the team means Son number 9. And we know that produces points. And Son with his 2 goals against Everton, it was no surprise because he played central. But in this Postecoglou's team, when Son is really wide, he's still a good asset because he's Heung-min Son. But I don't think he's a 10 million asset that can rival a Palmer, a Foden, a Saka. So I've got to keep monitoring this. And if Son continues to play central and Solanke is injured Game Week 3 or even Game Week 4, he's in my team. If he's not, he could even be sold this game week. So I thought that was interesting. I thought the Morgan Rogers performance on Sunday or Saturday was super interesting against Arsenal. He was player of the match. He comes away with 2 points. The progressive passing, as Mark from Mark's Stats Online, was so good to know. Not just the passing, his progressive carries. He is playing as like a second striker just behind Watkins. He's so involved. The fixtures are amazing. Points for Morgan Rogers are due. He's 5 million, guys, playing as a second striker. Oh, and he gets 90 minutes too. Yeah, there's a lot to like about Morgan Rogers at the moment. I also saw this great stat. We're going to see my team in a second, by the way. But I saw this from Nigel the Crab, who's one of our channel members. And guys, if you do want to know more about channel membership, you can check it out. Click the join button below. Nigel is in the WhatsApp group, for example, and he shared this with me in the WhatsApp group to our members. We've also got Ali Hangrov, who won FPL in there. FPL Chai's in the WhatsApp. If you want to join, you can join the Ultras or Squad tier below. Click the join button. So yeah, Nigel sharing. Some of the players who are taking lots of shots, some of the attacking players, but also what percentage of their shots on target lead to goals. Bowen, every time he hits the target, he scores a goal. Smith Rowe the same, but they're not producing high shot volume. The guys that are shooting loads, well, Havertz, 6 shots in Game Week 1 and 2, but only 1 on target. Son, 4 shots, 3 on target. Yeah, and when they're on target for Son, 2 of the 3 go in. Really interesting just to see who's hitting the target and not. Madueke, 6 shots on target, 6 shots, 5 on target. No wonder he's scoring goals. Just a really interesting number. Saka, 4 of his 6 on target. And then you look at Eze, 12 shots, 4 on target, no goals. Eze has probably been the biggest points dodger so far in FPL this season. Owners are very, very unfortunate. In terms of my watch list, and we'll go back to the Nkunku question. When we look at it, Nkunku has dropped in price. So all those 6.5 million midfielders, of which there's lots now, you could even count Madueke, for example, if you want to stay within Chelsea. There's a lot of 6.5s that you probably can't reach now unless you've got money in the bank or you're making 2 transfers. Nkunku 6.4. So I think when we're selling Nkunku, unless you've already sold him, I haven't. I want information and time. Remember, he does play on Thursday night. You're shopping in a different price band. That's okay because there's still good 5 and 5.5 million mids. Rodgers, if you've not got him. Semenyo's caught my eye. Minter's caught my eye. Smith Rowe has been brilliant. I like these 3 guys, and we'll speak more as we see my team and what direction I might go in. But look, this is how I'm set up. I guess you could call this my bus team for game week 3. Will it stay like this? I don't know. There's a very good chance Lewis Hall or if he's fit, of course, we're going to have Solanke in that 11. But at the moment, I don't think it looks too bad, despite needing a little bit of surgery with this team. Nkunku in the starting 11, yeah, he's probably not going to start, and I'm going to get a 1-point cameo. But elsewhere, I'm happy with Gordon and Isak. Very happy with Jota. Very happy with Son and Rodgers and Haaland. Robinson and Trent too. It's just the fringes, right? It's the Nkunku replacement. It's the goalkeeper. It's that 3rd defender. Or 4th defender. And of course, I still have Barco in my team. So potential transfers for me would be Lewis Hall out, and I can buy a 4.5 defender. We'll speak about the 4.5 defender options in a sec. Or Nkunku out, and I can buy a cheaper mid. Or I roll the transfer, and then I have a little bit of a mini wild card to get Mo Salah in the team come game week 4. We'll come back to this team in a sec, but this is why Mo Salah is going to be important. This is from the Scout members area, guys, on the app. And if you want to check Scout out, there's a link in the description. It's brilliant, the new app. I filtered this by just the next 3 game weeks. A fixture difficulty rating just for game week 3, 4, and 5, because I might wildcard in 6, and I just want to look at the next 3. But also I filtered it by attack. So who has the best attacking fixtures? Because often in FPL, that's what we care about, right? Even when we're buying defenders, we can often look at the attack and go, yeah, I'm buying Robinson because he's got good attacking fixtures. So if we're shopping for 4.5 million defenders, Palace and Everton at the top. Yeah, don't know about Palace and Everton anymore. Newcastle, could you get to Livramento? We need Trippier to be sold probably before we do that. But it is at the top of the ticker. Teams like Palace, Everton, Newcastle, Southampton, Ipswich. It's not the most attractive bunch. But what I would say is Chelsea and Liverpool there, just behind that bunch, have a very good run, especially when you take Man United out of that Liverpool game week 3. From game week 4, it's really good. And it starts with Forest at home and Bournemouth at home. Now, Mo Salah is going to be central to our planning here. And if you can afford it, I think you're going to want to go there, even if you have Haaland. Is it worth shuffling around your premiums and moving Haaland down to a Watkins and getting Salah? I don't think so. I think seeing Haaland be Haaland at the start of the season, I'd be very reluctant to downgrade Haaland now. He's also had a price rise, by the way. He's already 15.1. And look, in game week 4, Brentford at home, he'll be everyone's captain, will he? Game week 5 against Arsenal, sure, it's a difficult one. But in terms of obvious buys this game week, there isn't really one. For me, I think the most obvious buy probably comes in midfield for Nkunku, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Now, I think for Nkunku, the guy I really, really like, has a very tricky game week 3 fixture, which begs the question, should I just wait a week? So look, it's a Brighton player. You may have guessed who it is. Now, Brighton, they're towards the bottom of the ticker because they've got Arsenal away up next. But after Arsenal away, Ipswich at home, Forest at home. Yeah, that's 2 fixtures when I want this guy in my team. And you may have guessed who that guy is. It's Yankuba Minter, right? He's 1% owned. He's 5.5 million. He's got a 45-minute cameo in his first game, and that's only because he had the head injury, and then 89 minutes in game week 2. My concern with Minter was always going to be, will he get the minutes? But seeing him get 89 minutes against Man United when they were chasing the game, they needed him on the pitch, I was thinking, yeah, okay, this isn't someone that necessarily is going to always share minutes on that right-hand side. Of course, it's a risk because Adingra is also a very good option for that right-hand side. And if you can afford it, Matoma on the left feels safer. He's had an 88 and an 89, and that left-hand side feels like Matoma's made it his own. But he's 6.6 million. He's had a price rise. Do I think Brighton are worth investing in? Absolutely. Is it a bad entry point game week 3? Yes. Should that matter too much? Probably not, because the Brighton mids should outperform Nkunku in game week 3 if Nkunku's not going to start. And then from game week 4, you get a prime fixture at home against Ipswich. And then you get home against Forest. Brighton definitely on my mind. But as things stand, and I look at my team, I probably look at it and go, yeah, if Solanke's fit, I don't need to sell Nkunku. But if Solanke's fit, do I need to sell Son? Maybe I do, because I showed you this earlier. If Solanke's in the Son role really central and Son's really wide, do I want Son in my team? No. Could I carry him a couple of weeks? Yeah, sure I could, but it's far from ideal. Now, if I was to sell Son, now that gives me a world of opportunities, doesn't it? In terms of potential replacements and directions to go. Because when we look at the fixtures, could I convert Son to Palmer with a bit of money in the back? Yeah, sure, I could game week 4. I could have an entry point of Bournemouth away and then West Ham away for Cole Palmer. Or do I consider other options straight away? Man City, for example, have a very elite player called Kevin De Bruyne, who's gone up to 9.6. But I could go Son to De Bruyne in game week 3 or in game week 4. A really good entry point for De Bruyne in game week 4. But again, that Solanke position is key. If Solanke's fit, I can keep Nkunku because I can just bench him and suck it up. The price drops. But Solanke would come into my 11. Son would go to maybe a Man City mid. Differential. I like it. So look, guys, if you've enjoyed the show, they're my early thoughts. As the week goes on, I will update you more. I'm purposely not dropping my team selection videos until the end of the week. And I want to do team selection videos at the end of the week. And I'm calling them locked team selections because I'm locking in early. When I'm doing deadline streams, that might be different. But for the time being, there's no deadline streams. I'm locking in on Fridays and I'm dropping my Friday locked team selection. And as you'll see from the last 2 weeks, 0 changes to those Friday teams. If I tell you it's locked, it's locked. So end of the week, I will reveal all. Expect a video on Friday. And in the meantime, I've got lots of content planned this week. I'm going to do a watch list. I'm going to do a bit more research. This is just early reaction thoughts recorded on a Monday morning after that busy weekend of football. If you've enjoyed the show, please show your support just by hitting that subscribe button. And of course, liking. Drop a comment too, and I'll get back to you. And I'll see you for more videos this week, including, I think we're going to go live Wednesday night. I'm looking forward to that. Might have a very special guest for you there too. Until next time, guys, goodbye.